All right, we're doing it. We're doing it live. Hopefully, this time we're not going to freeze. Bobby, go. I don't know.
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the POS show with your host, the lovely, the talented, the podcast in demand. Lately, stocks are rising. Beautiful Pat Oates.
My stocks are
And
rising?
joining him whenever he's free, as always, it's the lovely co-host, Bobby Tamburo, a.k.a. the Max Scherzer of comedy, because I may have once again overestimated myself.
You love. Now, what's worse, that you do this to yourself or that you always shit on Max Scherzer?
Max Scherzer's the man. He's my idol.
I
And
know.
literally, when the tides were going well for Scherzer and everything seemed like it might work out for him, things were going well for Bobby.
For people that don't know baseball, they're like, is he doing a German war reference? The tides are going well for Scherzer.
I did gesture to the side for those of you who can't see in 3D. It was to the side. It wasn't straight out.
No, but Scherzer is a athlete, even though that name doesn't sound athletic. What are we doing?
My new thing again.
Right,
Do
but
the
I
hand games for kids.
understand the new thing again, but for the no
Yeah,
one
yeah, it's
watched
where-
it later on when it's on, and no one watched the first take.
Oh, yeah, good point. I'm doing this new thing where I do kids games, like with my hands, but stare really intensely at you like I'm throwing gang signs. That one was, here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors and see all the people.
Oh, the people. I was always like, God damn it, the people suck.
Yeah, it was not a fun game as a kid.
There
I
was
like, why
nothing
would
fun
they-
about it. People that could do it were fucking, they wanted you to be way more impressed. I'm like, it's not. I think that's who becomes magicians. Assholes who start with that. And then they do that paper thing where look, you're going to marry your cousin or some shit. And then they become magicians.
That or pedophiles, because they really want to play with your hands and teach you, like they want to have that intimate contact.
I don't like where that went.
Neither did the kid.
Magician pedophile?
Neither did the kid. Get it, Pat? He didn't like where it went either.
I don't think it needed to be explained after. Get it?
Do you
That'd
get
be
it,
the
Pat?
worst. A
You know who got it,
pedophile
Pat?
who doesn't
You know who
think a
got it,
kid
Pat?
gets the joke. He's like, just have sex with me. Stop telling jokes.
You know who got it, Pat? The kid from that story.
Oh my God, no. Why are we starting? Why didn't this one freeze?
I came out the gate swinging, dude. I don't know what happened. Much like Scherzer,
man.
I thought I was doing well, and then all of a sudden, I was down 7-2.
So much Scherzer, so little time.
So much. Damn, bro.
I have
I
a
got
question.
a new favorite.
Oh, do you have a thing out of the gate, or am I out of the gate? Who's out of the gate? I don't like the close heads like this. All right.
On the gate with Gio.
You said I got something coming out of the gate, and then I was about to come out of the gate. But I think you're
no! I
coming
said
out
I
of the
came out the gate swinging.
gate. No, before the show started, you're like, I got
that was
something out
a
of the gate.
joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. I didn't actually have something.
Oh, okay. Then I have a question right out of the gate.
Oh boy.
No, not bad. Just a regular question. Just something I noticed recently. Are the bots online, like the ones that like try to like they'll friend request you and then you can tell right away it's like some crazy hot lady or usually an Asian lady or some kind of hot, attractive woman or something, and usually in their thing it'll be like, I'm an entrepreneur, and then like the phrase, like whatever their bio is kind of off, like I like life to live and love life. It's like,
And
okay,
then you look at their pictures and they're all slightly similar, but you're pretty sure they're not the same woman.
or they are the same woman and then you feel weird because you know what porn star it is.
That I've had happen a number of times.
Yes, and that's wild because like you're like, does that make me worse than the bot? Because there's one the other day that I'm like, that's Danny Daniels, and I'm like, God damn, I shouldn't know that well. It's like,
Yeah, that's a little. Turns out for me, a lot of time, it is just actually Jenna Love sliding in my DMs.
she slides in there.
No, she can't slide anywhere, dude. She needs rolled.
That's not nice. Former guest Jenna Love. By the way, you know the lady that used to I didn't get to my point yet in the bot thing, but it sidetracked me. Do you know the woman that used to help us get like the porn stars on, the Laney lady?
Yeah.
She got mentioned on Misery Loves Company because they're gonna start having Sex Worker Wednesday.
That's not going to last long.
No, already they're like, and then Brennan turned it into, he goes, I like saying Horror Wednesday better. Which I
Laney's
do
tough.
too.
Laney,
So
I love it, but Lainey might be the one who brings down that universe. Like, it would be so funny if it was just basically Lainey Spencer was the one who Kevin Brennan couldn't beat.
They put on some. They brought on some woman today. I only could watch for a minute. It was like some older woman, and I'm not trying to shit on that, but you like much older, like in her 60s. Like she had like that, like that Lucille Ball dyed red hair, but it looks so cartoonish, like Ronald McDonald shit. She looked like that, and I'm like, that's the porn star you have? Is this woman?
I was the first porn star to integrate porn.
Yeah, it might. Like, I was on microfiche, whatever the fuck.
And then
she was
they
on.
lynched him because it was filmed in Alabama.
Yeah, it was weird to see that, but it was funny to hear her name. I also got my name mentioned on that show the other day, and then somebody wrote they mentioned my name because I was on Who Are These Podcasts. Thank you, Carl, for having me on. It was fun. And on there, Carl had brought up Kevin Brennan's name and asked me what I think of him. And I'm like, I don't know. I love the show. I'm a big fan. It wasn't like Carl was trying to get me to talk shit. He was just making a conversation. But Kevin said on the show, he goes, oh, I heard my name came up because I actually chatted something up. I was commenting on something. I was watching it. So it's not like I just came up in conversation. I chatted something. And he goes, oh, it's Pat Oates. He goes, I heard he mentioned me on Who Are These Podcasts, and he wouldn't talk shit about me even though Carl wanted me to. Which, by the way, is not true. Carl did not want me to talk shit. But Kevin's like, he can come on whenever. And then somebody in the comments on the side, because you can see all the chat, just wrote, all they wrote was, Pat's afraid to come on because he knows that Kevin will make fun of him, which I said. Like, I am afraid to go on that show because I don't want to get made fun of. Then the next one said, Pat Oates' ex is psycho. In the comments. And I'm like, why are we people talking about my life? And that's not true. But it was just like, I don't want to be, that's why I don't go on those shows. Because like all of a sudden people say things that can get me in trouble. And I was like, what the hell?
Maybe you want to get into my plan I've been working on, but go back to your bot thing and then you can ask
okay,
my
bot thing, then we'll get to your plan. Put a attack in your plan. Back to the bot thing. So, by the way, thank you, Carl, for having me on. Who's Right Podcast, thank you for having me on today. Go check both those podcasts out. They're great. The bots are getting smarter because now they're using uglier women. If you notice that.
No, but I may. Oh boy,
because they'll friend request you, and you can see that they've got like a mutual. I always check for when that comes on. I always check mutual people, and there's like 2 or 3 that you're like, oh, that person just accepts every bot thing in the world. But some people don't. But they follow, especially on Instagram, and they're just following. And I'm like, because you don't know. Like I perform places, whatever. You don't know where they're from. But I'm like, when it's a super hot lady, I'm like, I don't know. That's a little weird for the follow. It's just not my universe or world. But like, when it's just like some plain ass thing, I'm like, oh, okay, it's probably somebody saw me at a show. But then right away, you get right when you say, okay, I'll allow the follow, you get the message 2 seconds later, hello, handsome, with hearts. And you're like, oh, they're using ugly bots? Like, that's not fair. If they're just going to use regular people, then how are we going to know?
You can know. Typically, here's how I know if a woman is either a bot or like using me.
All right, the fun game is called bot or twat. You have to know if it's a bot or a twat.
That would be a fun game. And here's a real simple test. Does it seem interested in you? Genuinely, without wanting anything back? Then here's the truth. It's either a bot or it's a woman using you.
People find me interesting. How dare you?
Who?
Women.
No. Me?
No.
Me, Dion, Dan Brown, and Brandon. Are you seeing a common denominator?
That's not nice.
A Y chromosome. I'm just saying, you're a very intellectual person. Sometimes it's hard for these ditzy bitches to follow.
These are not the words I'm saying.
What? I thought I was spot on to what you were saying, and definitely not just trying to tweak the
I'm
episode.
asking you why bot. First of all, what? I'm so clueless to this. What is the purpose of a bot? When an attractive lady bot friend requests you,
yeah,
what is it doing?
It's gonna DM you and say hi, and there's gonna be some broken English.
If it does that, then I just block it or I defriend it. Like, I don't understand. It does not do it. What is it doing?
Well, Pat, do you see what it says after Tamburo under me?
Yeah, a.k.a. Max Scherzer of comedy.
Why am I that? Because once again, I'm way too confident in my abilities. I sometimes think these hot women are actual hot women and interested in me, and you play it out, and it goes. Usually the hello is misspelled, and you're like, that's 0 for 1.
Okay.
And then by the hey, I don't feel comfortable chatting on here anymore. Follow me at this site to see my sexy videos, and then they steal your credit card information.
Wait, you go to the sexy
I've never gone to the site, but on the site, you ask for your credit card for verification purposes, and then it would steal it.
Wait, but hold on. So the conversation, what the bot does is, and this actually catches people. What are people, Bugs Bunny? Like, hi, I messaged you on this thing. Oh, I don't do well on this thing, but you messaged me on this thing. We already proved we can talk. Why would you fall for that? I'm better off somewhere else.
I'm trying not to say his name, but there's a comic
Okay.
in Connecticut who may have gotten a job interview at Goodwill recently, who I feel, based on the interactions I've seen him have with women who are in prison, would fall for that type of line.
I get them. Okay, so the prison part, you're saying Ben Ortiz. I don't follow him, so I don't know about Goodwill. So like, but Ben Ortiz, who's a schizophrenic that's been on the show, you're saying, yeah, okay, but I'm saying that he doesn't even have any money to give them. I'm saying in general, bots don't just attack people that are schizophrenic or people with disorders. They go after everybody. What is the purpose of a bot? Steal credit card information?
Yeah, it's get money. It's either gonna hack your account or steal your credit card info.
But
or
it's
just
not,
have you
it's not
buy
hacking
things.
or stealing if you give it the info, right?
Right. So it would say typically what one of these sites will say is it doesn't charge you any money. We just need a credit card to verify your age. And then you'll put your credit card in and then it'll just bill you nonstop until you dispute the charges and it'll get a certain amount of money.
But you're getting farther ahead than I'm even at. Like, okay, so you're going way farther than I would ever go.
Right.
I get friend requested by somebody.
Would never go that far.
What?
You or I would never go that far.
Right, but I'm just saying in general, I get friend requests. Like today, there was a woman that was not that attractive as a bot thing. And I'm like, oh, this must be somebody who was at a show recently because I did a show for a lot of non-attractive people. And then, so I was like, so I don't usually follow back. I usually look first. But then I see that all their pictures were downloaded in 2 days. And I'm like, okay, that's a brand new person. That's not a real person. I don't go any farther. Once in a while, when they follow, then they'll message you. Usually they wait if you like follow them back. I don't deal with too many bots. But then this bot was like an ugly bot, and I was like, oh, this. And they had older ones from like a year or two, like they'd been there a while.
Got you.
And then they were also following people that are also from the area I'm from. So I was like, okay, this seems like a person. And maybe it is a person, and maybe they're just not that bright. Maybe I blocked or deleted just an ugly person that's not good at writing. I don't know. But once I said okay, and I followed back, it sent me the hello handsome with the heart, and I'm like, okay, no one talks like this because I don't know you. Why would you just call? If you know me, you can say handsome, but you just starting with that is very creep. Only grandparents or creeps call you handsome without knowing you.
That is
like someone else's grandpa go, look at this handsome boy. You know, it's like so they don't do. So the second they did that, I just go, okay, I don't comment back or whatever. But if I said hello, beautiful. They don't have any of my information. You're saying that now their next goal, the step of the bot or the person or the cafe. I don't use the word bot. I don't know what's happening. Is there a human being behind this, or is it a set up program that's doing a thing? I don't know. I don't get it.
It's kind of like buying YouTube views. So you can either pay where you have a real live person, and that's going to get more people. It's going to be a more human-like experience.
So there's a person whose job it is to fish folk in,
or it's the person who's doing it to get the credit cards, yeah.
Right, but yeah, so I'm saying, so there's a live person that's pretending to be sexy lady.
Yeah.
And they're so they're trying to be smooth when they're not a sexy lady. So where do they learn sexy lady talk?
Typically American cinema. And by that I mean porn.
So I would guess there's Americans that are doing this, right? Are you saying this is all not out of America? Like there's no Americans that are good
Americans
enough
doing it too, yeah.
Okay.
Now, the American scam typically is they get you to jerk off or something and then blackmail you with it. Like
they get you to jerk off?
Mm-hmm. There was a kid who killed himself over this.
He jerked off on his laptop?
So
Or in front of
basically,
his phone, in front of a thing, like the person's like, show me a penis, and they did it?
so it was four dudes who pretended to be another boy his age. And
Oh,
got
that's
him
kid.
to-
I don't want to get sad. Okay, I get what you're
And then
saying.
the kid killed himself because they
All
blackmailed
right, you
him
made
with
this
it.
sad.
Yeah.
Why did we go sad right away?
You asked them. You asked what?
No, I didn't ask for the worst case scenario of a child suicide. I was asking about the person that does this. Why would somebody jerk off? Would you jerk off if you were dating a girl or just getting to know her and she's like, "Hey, jerk off for me." You would do that on a phone?
The only interaction we had ever had in our life is I had cash after $50. Yes, I would do that. I just wouldn't put my face in it.
You'd cash app her $50 so you could jerk off?
It was a joke. Like even I would hire a hooker and jerk off.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't know you could. You could cash app a hooker?
Oh yeah, dude.
Don't say. Oh yeah, I don't know about hooker. How do you get a hooker? Isn't that all illegal? Is it legal anywhere to be a hooker? I know people are escorts now, but is that legal?
So you can't pay for sex. You could pay for the time.
Oh, you could pay for them. So it's legal to say, "Hey, I want you to hang out with me, so I'll give you money to have lunch."
Yep.
But
Perfectly. legal.
everyone knows that's not. It's like legal, but it's just a loophole because everyone knows you're not just having lunch.
And I mean, that would be more of an escort, like you were describing. There are just girls at motels, obviously, and street hookers still.
Street hookers are still around.
They're back
Who's
in
driving
New York.
around getting a street hooker in this
Dude, I
country?
don't know, but they're back in New York, baby.
They're
It's
back?
awesome. Yeah, back like. I tell you, so the other thing you can do.
Is that legal, street hooking?
No.
Then why are they
Hooking
allowed
is
to
not
stand there
legal.
and hook?
It's all about finding a loophole into the world's oldest profession. But the other thing you can do is you can put up a camera. Because with OnlyFans these days, you could just say you're a scab. And one time I did that, and a cop was like, based on that scab, that bitch is never going pro.
What's a scab?
Herpes. But scab was a joke. 'Cause scab would be someone, because if you're an actor, you're not allowed to
Right.
work
Well,
now.
I know scab is when football players went on
He,
strike years
he
ago. The
pointed
guys
to
that
the
played for
scab
them.
on her vagina, which would be like a herpes sore. It was like, based on that, she's never going to go union because you're not allowed to have STDs.
You can't have STDs in a union.
Anyway, so back to your bots. I'm sorry.
No, we're at a different part right now. So Ben Ortiz, we talked about him. This is a question I really have. I don't know this world. I don't want to know, but I have questions. I'm not asking you like I think you know, but I think that you know people that know. That's why I'm asking you. So I don't want you to think.
I'll simplify it because I think you're trying to make sure I don't look bad, which it's very simple. Much like Jesus, I hang out with hookers and whores. I don't do anything sexually with them. I just enjoy their company, much like my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Go on.
Okay, but I wasn't trying to make you not look bad. I don't care
No,
if you
I
look
know.
bad. You can do that on your own. I'm just trying to say that I don't know how people get escorts. I know a girl that's an escort, and she would tell me all the money she would make, and she was like a high-end one, and she would tell me like there's these ads and these like you have to pay money to like be in these special secret things, and these men have to like join this thing, and they have to be vetted and the whole 9 yards. And these guys are like CEOs and shit, and they'll spend like $1,000 just to like stare at her foot during lunch and then leave. Like they won't even like fuck her, and it's like they're going through all this crazy stuff, but they have money, they have legal people, they can cover their asses, all that stuff. We had Ben Ortiz on this show, and he'd be like, I get hookers all the time. And he would tell us he went on Skip the Game or whatever it was called .com. So he's going on a website, and he's purchasing a hooker. I know you're saying for the time, but I'm guessing that website, it just says, like, I'm a hooker, right? Or does, I don't know what it does. How do you legally do that? How do you not think it's cops? How are people doing this?
So I would imagine typically in a situation like that, it's like anything in life. There are tiers, right? So if you want to do cocaine,
Which also I don't know how to do. I don't know where you get cocaine.
Me neither.
I don't know how to get hookers or cocaine.
But you've seen enough movies to know that there's like the rich guy level where they bring you super nice cocaine and it's like pure white. You know what I mean? All the way down to stepped on crack on the street corner. So there's different ways at different levels. But at the baseline, typically, at the tier below Ben Ortiz, there's no
We got
contact.
2 people watching it. Those 2 people, have you ever gotten a hooker? Comment. Anyway, go ahead, Bobby.
Those two, like, so there's a tier below Ben, which would
Or
be
are you a hooker? Comment. Sorry.
even better, dude. No,
Yeah, if we got a hooker on, that'd
if you're a
be great.
hooker, jump in. Pat will
Yeah.
send you the link.
Do we have to pay them for their time?
No, they pay us.
Oh.
We're the pimps. I don't know what you heard about me, Pat,
But you're going to do the pimp song?
but a bitch can't get $1 out of me.
Yeah. I don't want you heard about me. I know that one. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I know that fucker.
Motherfucker PIMP. But yeah, so basically there's a tier below Ben, which is there's no online contact. There's no planning ahead. There's a location where they're known to be. You go and you look around and you go, oh, that's a hooker. And you go, how much? Or in some places, they are much like hot dog vendors at a game, yelling out the price for your hot dog to go down their hallway.
Right, but that's not... And I guess I understand that. You're trolling for hoes.
So then you're at the Ben Ortiz level.
Okay, let's say online hook. What?
So
How do
let's
you do
say
that?
you're at Skip the Games, which I don't think exists anymore. But when it did, there would be like ads and pictures, and you would look through and you'd say, "Oh, that's the same girl in all these pictures. It looks like different seasons. That's probably real." Like you would do a basic look over, and then typically they would arrange a meet where there wouldn't be any sex, no money exchange. It would just be like, we're real people. They would go and see Ben and be like, there's no way this guy passed the cops, or he's the greatest undercover cop of all time. Right?
But isn't somebody watching online?
Dude.
So Ben's on there. He's using his card. He's on this thing. He's giving his information. I'm assuming you have to give information. You have to pay them. Do you pay them cash when you meet them? Are you Venmoing hookers? Like, do you put like a picture of a cat in the comment part of like when you pay them?
So
like,
you
for pussy?
definitely don't Venmo hookers.
All right, I don't.
That's
That's
a
okay.
red
We
flag.
learned one thing. You don't Venmo hookers.
Typically, what
If you
would
have
want-
Venmoed hookers, please comment.
bad news. Me tweeting the link was one of the people in the chat.
What?
You know how we said you said we had 2 people watching?
We have 4 now, but still.
Okay, so we have 3. One of them's me on my
All right.
phone. But,
Okay, then you should answer us if you're a hooker.
I'm not a hooker.
All
But I
right.
would, depending on the woman and the price. But, so you go to Skip the Games, right? Let's go to... Where are you from, Pat?
Don't put me in this.
Connecticut.
Get out of here. So wait,
Well,
is it you just found Skip the Games?
It's not looking good.
I thought you said it was
It is down. It is down.
Now wait, I shouldn't know this, but I think when we had Ben on, I said Skip the Games and he went not plural.
No. It's gone.
Skipthegame.com.
So there's like Craigslist, obviously, but then there's a little bit classier, like Eros.com, right? So let's go to Eros.
Wait, you know all these?
You haven't? I used to listen to Norton talk about it all the time.
Whatever.
Hartford. So right now, Eros verified. So that means she's registered with the site. You know she's real.
Wait, someone's name is Arrow?
No, that's the website. Right now, escort in Hartford. NYC Brittany. Beautiful, busty American. I am based in Connecticut. Travel to upstate New York, Westchester, and Massachusetts.
She
drive
travels? She's on the road?
myself. I also... Oh, yeah, they go on the road all the time. I also love casino dates. Hi, I'm Brittany. All American. I'm completely independent with light brown hair, sparkling green eyes, sweet and exciting to be around. I have a sense of class. I'm down to earth. My personality is open,
Real
happy,
quick,
and laid
can I
back.
pause? What do you think her sense of class is? What do you think that means to Brittany? A sense of class.
I think a sense of class for her means that...
Steak knife and regular knife. Napkin
no.
on the lap. What's a sense of class? And I'm not trying to shit on the profession. Listen, I'm just saying, if you say I have a sense of class, you don't have class. I know people with class, they don't tell people.
No.
Nobody smart has ever told me they're smart.
let me explain, Pat. You're reading the denotation of those words, which is the dictionary definition of I have class, meaning she thinks she does things
Classy.
that are
Right.
classy.
Like you could bring her to a nice restaurant.
You need to focus on the connotation of escort language, which means it ain't gonna be cheap, honey.
Oh, her class means that you can't. I can
gonna
charge
pay
you good
more.
money because this pussy is worth it.
Yeah, that's basically
Okay.
what that means. Yeah.
Okay,
Great
good.
question.
I'm learning.
You know what they say? No bad questions, and you are certainly correct. That was a great question.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. Thank you.
I have a great sense of humor and can be silly.
Now, real quick pause. Do you think she has a great sense of humor?
I do. Because
Why?
as the great Daniel Tosh once said, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke.
Take a joke, but not deliver. She doesn't deliver anything.
She doesn't say she's good at telling jokes. She says she has a great sense of humor, which means she'd laugh at what you were saying.
Yeah, but that's just she's also gonna tell me I'm good in bed. She's a liar for money.
It's called stroking your ego and your cock. That's what she means.
Is
when
that
she
what class
says
is?
She has class, Pat. Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I'm learning. This is great.
You're getting there.
I'm getting it.
If you're looking for a real girl that is fun, I'm your girl. Do prefer longer engagements for a more enjoyable time.
Oh, wait. There's certain amounts of time.
Oh, you come on, man. You don't
What?
even know that?
I don't know anything about hookers. Wait, am I allowed to call? Am I dead naming that? Is there? What am I supposed to call them?
On this side, I'd call them escorts because they're classy.
What do you call them in other sites?
Depends on the site. If it's
Is there like a
Craigslist,
site where they
I'm
call
calling
them hoes?
I mean, if I'm calling her a Craigslist hooker, if she's from Craigslist,
Is Craigslist still around?
I think it's Jim's list now. He got bought out.
Oh my God, Jim's got money. Jim's classy. First of all, he was classy. He beat James.
So we'll get into the SSHHHOR
SSH. That's
Brief.
shush. Did you spell shush?
Yeah, I did.
Is that a boat? SS whore.
That's a short session of 15 minutes, half hour, hour,
What are you doing in 15 minutes?
overnight. Typically, ejaculating.
Wait, have you ever had sex for 15 minutes and that's it?
No, I haven't. I also haven't had an escort.
Yeah, well, I guess they're so good they make it quick. I don't. Oh, because you don't have to care? I've never had sex without caring.
It's just a much cheaper rate. But hang on, we'll find out more about her, and I can use it as an example. So
Have you ever had sex without caring?
Me without caring? Yeah.
I never have. I want
I,
to. I just don't. I always care.
I spent 2 years in a relationship where I fell out of love.
Right, but you started off by having caring sex, so she was under the illusion you still cared. I mean, like, I've never had like a one night. And even if I did, I can't say that. I've had one night or 2 nights or fling, but I still stupidly cared about the person.
I unfortunately can't do that. I would have to really care about the person. But when I was making love, the act of making love, I do follow the immortal technique guidance of I show no compassion by having a straight-faced orgasm. Like, you won't know.
How much does it cost for the act of making love?
To her?
Like on there, does it say the act of making?
It
Is there
sure
different
does.
things?
Yes, there are. We're going to get to that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Overnights and multiple hours are encouraged.
Overnight?
Call only.
Overnight. So you're falling asleep with a stranger who could kill you.
That means you're taking her on vacation somewhere, essentially.
I'm taking a hooker on vacation?
We'll get to that, okay?
On vacation?
Buddy.
And I gotta pay her?
I love the enthusiasm you're showing for this. And
No!
I'm gonna get...
Wait, I gotta pay her and then I gotta buy a travel ticket and I gotta get a passport?
No. Typically with that, they take care of. But we'll make... That would be...
The hooker buys her own ticket?
So it wouldn't be... For that, it wouldn't be so much her vacation as it would be your vacation.
I don't know what you meant. You said
Like,
your.
you were somehow in Hartford on vacation. You would hire this woman to spend it with you.
Oh, so she's not... It's not... You ever see that movie with... where they're eating the food? What's it called? The Menu? And then they kill everybody kills them all. It's a great movie. It's got that Ralph Fiennes, whatever, and all that.
No.
And the lady with the bug eyes, that's hot. That movie, she's a hooker that he brings with her on vacation. So that's not that. You're not taking the hooker going, we're flying together.
That's another tier where above where we're at.
That's not online. That's that girl I was talking about, the escort that's big money.
That's a whole next exactly.
Like I could take this girl, Brittany, to like Baltimore or something, but I couldn't take her like on an island.
No, this would be you would go to Baltimore and check their area and hire.
I find a hooker in Baltimore.
So she's taking people who are visiting. I'm guessing Mohegan Sun.
Okay, but it says overnight.
But that would mean she would, because you're staying at a hotel.
But she's staying overnight too with me. She's sleeping with me after the sex.
I don't think they're sleeping.
At some point you have to. You can't just fuck for 12 hours. What are you, an animal?
No, this would be like, all right. You'll understand more when we get to the different.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
No, it's okay. You're so excited. I love that.
I'm learning.
Yeah. So, out call only. Do you know what that means?
Out call, I would guess, would mean they'll leave the house.
She'll come
like
to
a
you.
Doctor. They'll make a house call.
So out call only means she'll come to you.
She'll come to your house. Wait, so hooker's coming to your house?
Yes.
Like only. A pizza?
And that's safer. She would typically have a driver with her for protection.
I think she would feel very unsafe. Some creep could just invite her over and kill her. I thought they stayed in like layers and stuff.
That would be an in-call that you're thinking of there.
I like to use these terms.
This site's not working anymore.
Oh, no, you're getting shut down. The cops are coming. You got an escort. Did you order a hooker?
Hang on. Let me go to the desktops.
Order one right now and have them show up on the show. Pay them for the time.
Just work like a stupid.
I got to monetize this channel so then we can get a hooker to go on the show and then we just pay her with the super chats.
All right. Well, this is being difficult. Out call only. Emails, texts are answered properly and preferred. So here's where we start to get.
Oh, real quick, can I have one more? Sorry.
Yeah.
So when you say out call and then you say in call, is there a difference in price?
So yes, typically for an in call, it would be cheaper because you're going to their place. They don't have to pay for travel.
Oh, you got to pay for gas?
That's essentially and the convenience. You don't have to leave your place. You don't have to worry about going somewhere where there's a dude in the closet and you get there and he's gonna stab you a bunch.
Why don't these men just go on dates? Oh, because they need to fuck. They don't care about being with a woman. They just want to fuck.
I can't answer that for you.
I just hypothetically.
So, I would imagine it's at some point one of two things. Either they never learned how to talk to women or interact and they're so lonely that this is the only option, or they were hurt bad and they don't want any connection whatsoever anymore.
Oh, and then they still want to have the sex.
I think there's and I think there's a third category like you were describing of just I got a nut. It's a
that second category sounds dangerous. Those guys shouldn't be allowed to order ladies.
Yeah.
They're hurt and they're gonna hurt back. I hope those ladies bring a pimp. Pimp's still a thing?
That's I mean, typically in these days, it's more of like actually a lot of comedians do this job of driving the girls around and making sure shit doesn't get too rough. Big J notoriously has talked.
Yeah, but that was like 15 years ago. Any comedians I know now couldn't fight anybody.
Okay, well, you might have to loosen your definition of the word comedian, but Mark Random comes to mind.
He's a pimp?
No, but he protects these women. Like, he drives them around, and they pay him just to protect. It's the opposite of what pimping was. Where he would
Mark Random commented on my post the other day. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Mark's the man.
Hi, Mark.
Did you see his tattoo of Crip?
I did not.
He got a beautiful tribute tattoo. Anyway, so the other reason why outcall is more expensive is, again, the protection and the risk, right?
He got a tattoo of a person that can't walk on him. It's on his leg, I hope.
It's on his arm, and Crip's in a wheelchair.
It'd be hilarious if it was on his leg, because then... Whatever.
That would be actually really brilliant. God damn it.
Yeah.
But anyway, out call for this young lady, Pat, for 2 hours. How much do you think it's going to cost you?
2 hours. Now, that's an out call?
She's coming to you. She only does out calls. So
okay. So
does 2 hours then do if you take her to a casino.
Right, but let me get into this first. This is like a math problem. 2 hours, is that the time spent or travel to?
That's a time spent with you.
Okay, so if she lives 20 minutes away, that I don't get like 40 minutes taken out for the back and forth. I get 2 hours.
So typically,
So I'm paying 2 hours for her to hang out.
yeah, but basically to break it down, typically leading up to an hour, so a short session, which would be 15 minutes. Now, this classy lady, I don't believe, does that. A half hour or a full hour would be one ejaculation or time spent. Like
So wait, if I pay for an hour,
yeah,
but I come 10 minutes in, does she
Yeah.
chill for 50 minutes, or is she just gone out that hour?
you could talk to her and get her to stay, but it would be uncomfortable and clear she wanted to leave, and I'm guessing she would leave about 20 minutes after.
But I paid for the hour.
If you that's how the conversation would go. Yeah, honey, but you know what you paid for. But I paid for the hour. All right, I'll hang. What are we doing? Building Legos or some nerdy shit?
So how much do I think it costs for this woman, a classy woman?
So for 2 hours, it would be 2 nuts, essentially.
I don't want to talk about nuts. I'm talking about I'm paying, because that's not part of the deal. Because if I don't nut, if I'm somebody who just can stay hard and not come, it's not that. It's just the time, right? So it doesn't matter. It's not the nut you're paying for.
But you're not going to get a third session out of this lady in 2 hours.
No, but I'm saying legally, I'm not paying for any sex at all. I'm paying for the time. So therefore, you can't factor nut into this scenario. I know what you're saying, reality, but buyer's market, I'm paying for time. So you're asking me how like Ben Ortiz used to say dick didn't work, so he would just hang out with them for an hour. He was paying for the hour, no nut. So he was just soft the whole time, and he got hugs and kisses and stuff. So 2 hours with this woman coming to me, if I was a hooker and I'm classy,
So this is
$500,
$1,500.
Whoa! I'm a cheap whore. I would have. I'm the same way in comedy. Everyone's like, "You only charge that much for a show?" I'm like, "Yep." They're like, "I get twice as much." I'm like, "God damn it! I always underbid myself. I'm a whore. I'm a dumb whore.
You're the opposite of Max Scherzer and I.
I'm not Britney."
How much do you think it would be overnight with this young lady?
If 1,500 is 2 hours,
Yeah.
overnight is. I think she cut you a deal. I want to say $3,000.
$5,000.
Yeah. Well.
All right, and now if you take her to
First of all, if you're paying $5,000 for a human being to sleep over, you're a loser. I'm sorry. You're a fucking rich loser. You could just drop $5,000. If you could drop $5,000, you could just find a gold digger to be a human and hang out with you and not have to spend $5,000. Just buy her a nice meal and some shoes.
That's fair. Now, Pat, you like to spend time at the Mohegan Sun. She said in her profile she does. If you took her to the casino for 2 hours, how much do you think it would cost you? Now, remember, just her coming to you for 2 hours, that's $1,500.
Right, but now I'm at the casino.
Yeah. And
I'm getting a
casinos.
free room because I performed there, so that's kind
Yeah.
of nice for me at least. I'm saving some money.
Yeah, and she loves she loves casinos.
I'm like using those comedians. I'm like, do I know this chick?
Probably.
I don't want to say one of the last few people I dated was actually has the same name, but anyway,
Was she a beautiful, busty American girl?
she was American and she was beautiful, but she wasn't busty. Anyway,
All right, we'll get to the measurements in a second. You can compare stats.
it's not this person. Okay, so they come to the casino, and that's not include. They're going to the casino, but that's not including me taking them out to dinner. Probably they want to gamble with my money. Probably, I'm guessing that's what hookers do, right?
So for 2 hours,
I don't think hookers spend their own money.
For 2 hours, you don't have to take her out or anything.
No, but wait, is 2 hours at the casino? Or I thought the casino was just like you're coming to the casino.
No, at the casino, you're getting 2 hours with her at the casino, and then she's gonna do her own thing the rest of the time.
So wait, I'm getting charged. She's doing an out call.
Mm-hmm.
But if she comes to a casino, she charges me different price than coming to my house?
Because she loves going to casinos.
Okay, then it's probably cheaper. So okay, if you're saying $1,500 for 2 hours, I'm saying $1,250 for the casino. She cuts you $250 deal.
It's $2,000.
It's more because she loves it. She
wants
doesn't
extra.
like my house, so I gotta pay $1,500. She loves somewhere, and you pay $2,000
Overnight's $5,500. So that's
at a
what- that's the deal.
casino.
Yeah, because it's harder to
You're-
get into
but
a
you're
casino. Casinos try to chase away hookers.
Casinos don't try to chase me. Hookers walk around the casino all the time.
Now, Pat, we haven't even gotten into the world of fetish escorts yet. Let's go there.
First of all, we need to go there. Who's paying for 15 minutes? And what hooker's taking that? You would think they'd be like, nah, I'm not taking that.
A bitch who plays quantity over quality. And, all right, so 15 minutes is a bit of a game, isn't it? Because the 15-minute price is going to be more than half of the 30-minute price. Right?
What?
Like, if a 15 minutes costs you $25, 30 minutes is going to cost you $40.
Who? Well, is a lady? No one's charging $25, are they?
Call Ben.
No, but I meant like we're talking about the online service, not the street hook.
So that type of online service would be like usually car jobs where she'd meet you in your car, jerk you off while you drove, or blow you while you drove somewhere.
Wait, stop! You can pay for a car job? They can just get in your car?
Pat, I know I'm usually the younger one here, but I feel like I'm stealing your innocence and we need to stop.
What is going on? People are just paying for sex in a car? You're supposed to do that because you're like a woman. You're not supposed to do that disgustingly. You're so into this people. You're so into each other. You're ravaging each other in a car, not paying. Ew. Then you gotta wait. So you just
Pat,
drive
you know
around in
how
your
it
car
is.
afterwards, looking at the other seat, going, "I fingered a lady in that seat," and you don't know her.
Come on, Pat. You know how it is. You've been in New
don't.
York all day, trading stock, doing coke. You have a couple.
Never done
brewskis
any of these things.
on the train up to Hartford. You get to the train station. You got 15 minutes till you got to get home to that bitch wife of yours who doesn't put out anymore, and those annoying kids who are just gonna be like, "Daddy, it's Christmas Eve. We're so happy to see you." So what'd you
Christmas
do?
Eve, I got a
Is
car
you-
hooker.
Is you meet this nice young woman, you put on some Jingle Bell Rock, you drive around the block for 15 minutes, you go home with the Christmas spirit.
No, all that is awful.
Because you just left all that sadness and misery in that ho-ho-ho's mouth.
I ho to someone's mouth?
Because it was Christmas Eve.
No, I got it. But that scenario you painted, I think I'm Jewish.
No, that's the beauty of it.
I'm doing stocks. I'm in New York. I travel from New York to Hartford. That's quite the commute.
Then drive, and then you drive.
I take the train, right? And then I drive?
Yeah, for 15 minutes.
Wait, can I pay for them to visit me on the train?
No,
Why?
you don't know about the tragedy of trainee.
What is happening? Are you having a stroke in the middle of this? What's happening? Bobby's having a quick visit right now with his own body.
You never heard the tragedy of Loretta, the locomotive liquor?
All right, that's a tongue twister. But no, please enlighten me. On
Yeah, and I
Loretta
definitely
liquor.
didn't have to cough to buy myself time.
Loretta, the liquor lady?
Locomotive liquor. She was a train whore, notorious for blowing people
This
on the
isn't
train.
real, right?
Yeah, no, this is 100% real. Old Wild West. Jesse James and the boys get on the train to rob the train. Old Teresa, or no, I made her name. What was her name?
Loretta.
Loretta gets shot. And so the union of whores decided no more trains.
All right. That's
Ironically, now they get trains run on them.
Heyo. Loretta, the train whore. I thought you meant like nowadays, not old timey stagecoach.
No, you would just get busted on a train these days. The fucking conductor walks up and down 19,000.
They don't care. One time when I was going to compound, I saw some guy getting jerked off,
That's consensual.
and I just moved to the other seat. You
That-
don't know. He
there's
might
no-
have paid for her to come to the.
There was no money exchanged. No, I knew the dude.
You didn't know that guy.
Yeah, no, that's Jim. Good guy. Family man.
You've been besmirching gyms twice today already. I don't think gyms. We would have so many more viewers if you didn't shit on so many gyms. Gyms love watching. Oh
These
my God.
gyms are spelled G-I-M.
So you can. This world is crazy. 15 minutes for a hooker to come to your house. You're spending money. Then they just take. Is there a timer?
They don't come to your house for 15 minutes.
Is there a timer?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Like an egg timer, or do they just use their phones?
No, they're dude. You think comics have a good internal clock?
I don't have one. I go way over. The other day, I was supposed to be doing. I was doing a private show. We'll go back to the hookers in a minute. I was supposed. They asked me to do an hour by myself, where I was supposed to just make fun of these people. And Dion came with me, and I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. But they were like Italian people. It was a fun birthday party thing. I'm like, I go, light me at 35. There's no way they're gonna want an hour. I'll do like 40. I never saw the light. I was having a good time. It was going great. As we're leaving, I go to him. I go, did I even do an hour? And he just waits till we get to the car and looks at me and goes, dude, fuck you. And I go, what? He goes, oh, did I do an hour? Look at your fucking clock, your phone. I go, okay. He goes, what time did you start? I go, 9. He goes, what time is it? I go, 10:41. He's like, yeah, asshole. You did 90 minutes of crowd work. You had no idea. And you just he goes, I lit you 6 fucking times. Never looked. I have no internal clock.
Well, if you were getting fucked for the time you were on stage, I bet you'd have a internal clock.
So wait. Okay. Hold on. So, 15 minutes, I'm guessing you're not having sex. 15 minutes, I'm guessing it's oral. I'm guessing. I don't know. I just feel like that's not enough time to...
I would imagine typically it's oral or a hand or, some guys are into feet.
What I'm saying, from her walking in the door, timer on, clothes off, bone, the whole 9, you're having to get hard, all that stuff, unless you're ready to rock. Maybe you just already popped a couple of Viagra's or something, you're ready to go. I don't know what's happening. You just stand there with a boner waiting.
Imprisonment to pay a woman to fuck you for 15 minutes. You think you aren't ready to go?
I don't think about this, so I don't know. But this is all just top of my head. But okay, so you're standing there, that's the craziest scenario. You open the door, you're just there, dick out hard, ready to go. She takes her clothes off. You're fucking her. At the 15-minute mark, you haven't come yet. The buzzer goes off. You have to pull out, and she leaves.
So, you ever watch soccer?
No, I try not to.
So typically, at the 15-minute mark, the security or pimp will come out holding a card that says how much extra stoppage time there was, i.e. how long it took her to get naked and stuff. And there'll be usually like a 2-minute buffer, and then they go, all right, you're going to have to pay more if you want to finish this or something.
So wait, there's a guy in the house with you while you're fucking this lady?
Typically, what I would imagine happened would be, he walks her to the door and is like, all right, I'll be out in the car. And then you get a knock at 15 minutes.
Yeah, but you're banging somebody, you hear a knock, you're not like, 1 second, you're still banging.
No. When if you don't respond to that bang, bad, you know what I mean?
If you don't stop your bang to respond to the bang,
you're going to get a bang.
You get the bang bang. Is that Ricky Martin or was that a song?
But who shot who at the hookers motel apartment?
So, yeah, 15 minutes sounds nuts. An hour, I get. You have time, I get. I don't know. And then that lady just leaves all gooed up?
No.
You can't goo in her?
Well, buddy, that's
what?
We get into the different terminology.
Holy shit, you can goo?
That's called going Greek.
Wait, doesn't Greek mean butt?
No, not in this. It means fucking and leaving it in.
Wait, I heard someone say they go Greek once, and I thought they just meant anal.
It depends on the context.
This guy was saying on stage at an open mic that he goes Greek with a chick.
That means anal.
Okay. But then he said, "Oh, mom, stop letting me fucking." It was the worst thing ever. It was like,
yeah. Now with an overnight, it's kind of assumed that there's a GFE going on, but
all right, I don't know. Gafi?
No, I'm gonna explain. But for a 2-hour session, you probably could pay
Greek feet. Is it Greek feet eaten? I don't want feet in this.
Nobody wants that.
Tastes like olives.
For like a 3 hours or so, you could pay more, and then you get the GFE, which is a girlfriend experience.
By the way, our numbers have not gone high, but we've gone from as high as 5 down to 2 to 3. People, one person I think is just hanging strong, but like everyone else is just like no one's commenting, no one's doing whatever. I might not be able to take. I don't know if I fucked up, but if anyone can add to this and also teach me terminology, please tell me.
But girlfriend experience means she pretends like she likes you.
GFE means girlfriend experience?
Yeah.
Girlfriend's one word, though.
No.
It's not?
When it's an experience.
Girlfriend's not one word?
Not when it's an experience.
Oh.
But basically,
so wait, you're paying for the experience of a girlfriend? So is she mean to you sometimes?
No. It's just the good parts of a relationship. Some people might say ideal.
I don't know where I want to eat, but I want you to pick where we eat. But I don't like the places you like. So you pay for that.
No, but you would like go to the movies and hold your hand or something along those lines.
Oh my God, that's so sad. You. No, stop it. You're paying for literally the girlfriend. Like, go to the movies.
You're taking her on a date and then you're taking her back to your apartment.
Oh my God, these men, these poor men. Why didn't these people's parents love these men?
Why? Do their parents love them?
Why they didn't love them? I couldn't imagine. And I know people are going to say, well, Pat, when you're dating, you're basically doing that. That's Neanderthal. That's not true. When you're dating someone, you want to spend money and time with them. You're not paying for sex. Sex is what happens in a relationship. It's all nice and loving and shit. Fuck you. But you're paying someone to pretend to date them? Like, wait, so does that mean that some guy could pay a woman to go like to an office party and pretend it's his girlfriend, or like Thanksgiving dinner with his fam? People are doing that shit. This lady's going to people's homes.
Or like his best friend Will's wedding, and then Will's mom has to.
Oh my God, wedding!
Like if you don't tell Will to leave, or if you don't tell that whore to leave Will's wedding, we're gonna have a real problem.
That sounds like a real thing happened there.
No, I threatened to do that to my buddy Will.
You were gonna bring a whore to a wedding?
Yeah, but not because I was lonely, just because I wanted to embarrass Will with having a very obvious prostitute on his. Like, I was going to hire the whore of whores just to embarrass him.
The whore of whores.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like, the whore of whores? What does a whore look like?
Your mom.
Oh my God, that's not nice. That was by the way, you and I have had years of jokes back and forth. That was my favorite comeback we've ever done. It was so simple, but so beautiful. Like, I walked right into it. I usually see shit, nothing. Your mom, and it just hit. It was like, boom.
I'm just in there
your mom. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
It's so mean, but I gotta say it.
I'm telling you, chef's kiss. That was beautiful. Like, that was... The name of this episode is Your Mom. It's done. It doesn't matter what else it is. It's Your Mom.
Clip it.
If I knew how to, I would.
But,
And Mom, if you're watching, sorry.
Yeah, my bad, Mrs. Oates. Or Jake. Don't beat me up.
Yeah, Jake defends you more than me. You shouldn't do that.
Jake's the man. But, where were we?
We were girlfriend experience, bringing them to a wedding... Where you can bring a hooker. Okay, Bobby, I know you wouldn't do it, but let's do scenarios, like for real. I'll try to do it too. Okay? You have to go to a situation and you feel like you have to. Okay, let's say high school reunion. I don't know maybe high school reunion, because like there was a girl you used to date and you want to make her think you're not alone. What would be the situation that you would be like, you know what, I can see myself paying for the girlfriend experience? What would be is there any situation that you would do that for?
My family will never see this. May 5th, my cousin Gina, who I hate, is getting married.
Okay.
I'm being informed I have to go to the wedding.
Right. And you have +1 on the invitation?
If I don't, I'm not going. Because that's a level of disrespect that I can use to not go to the wedding.
Why? Sometimes they just can't. If they know you're not in a relationship, I understand. I have somebody that was in a wedding, or had a wedding, whatever, at one time in my life. When you know someone is single, I know it seems a little rude, but you're like, hey, we were inviting 200 fucking people. You're not dating anyone, and if you are, it's your first date or something. We know you're not with anybody, so what the fuck?
My family knows I'm 2 tattoos away from being Jay-Z's Magna Carta Holy Grail, okay? I got tattoos on my body, psycho bitches in my lobby. Just because I'm not in a relationship.
What is that from? What did
Magna
you say?
Carta Holy Grail. Jay-Z's line. But,
Hello, Scott Fitzpatrick with no filter. Have you ever gotten a hooker, Scott?
especially if I'm not in a relationship, there are women in my life, so give me that +1. But no, I would do that, like, just so I had someone other than my family to talk to, because they're all my family.
But wait. But how? Okay. I know.
Go
I
ahead.
seem like an innocent fuck, and I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
How would... I could not sit there and have a conversation with a person I paid to be there.
Why not?
The whole time I'd be... Because, Bobby, you're here. You know me. What would I be doing the whole time?
Fucking.
No. Think about it. If I'm sitting there with a prostitute...
Asking her questions about being a prostitute.
the entire time...
I walked into that one almost like the mom joke.
No, but I don't even mean it as a joke. That's legitimate. So, like, sir, do you have a gig later? I would call them gigs. I wouldn't know. It's like, who books that?
Yo, I also have a gig at the Mohegan Sun later. Can I get a ride, dog?
Yeah. Oh my God, I don't drive right now. Oh, that's almost. Well, that'll be breaking news later. We're getting close to that. Anyway, breaking news in the Pat not driving thing. But anyway.
Oh no.
No, good breaking news.
Oh no.
Why is it oh no?
Not for the other drivers in Connecticut.
Oh, I know. I'm fine.
I'm just playing.
But yeah, I got a quick side
no,
note just to get out of the way. I got a doctor to finally sign off on that dumb thing I couldn't get forever.
Congratulations.
And the guy was laughing. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna scan you." He's like, "You have no issues." He goes, "Don't drink and drive." Like, I haven't drank in 7 years. He goes, "Okay, let me sign this thing." Sign it. I'm like, "What the fuck? That took 7 years?" But now I got to deal with the DMV. Anyway, back to, oh my God, would you bring that would be fun. You bring a hooker with you to the DMV because you're there for a while, and then that'd be fun.
They'd know her.
No, I don't. You're not bringing her in the picture for the license, but I'm saying, like, just to kill the time, you could just talk to a hooker and ask her questions at the DMV.
Okay, maybe. But so if you brought her to a wedding, what you're missing is the improv of it all. Like, you get to come up with a story, you get to make up whatever you want.
Why would I make anything up? I think it'd be better to go, who's this? Oh, I don't, what's your name again? I don't know. I paid her to be here.
Yeah,
Because,
I don't think...
Go ahead.
They're typically like the CIA. They're big fans of discretion. They don't typically like it when you tell people what they do.
Right, but Bobby, you're forgetting something. Anyone that knows me knows that I usually just say things that are jokes.
Yeah.
Most people think that I say jokes all the time.
And you're forgetting
Whoa.
one thing. If people understood things like that, they typically don't go into the escorting profession.
I was in line to get in on a $7 crack hoe in the 90s, but I backed out. Good back. That's smart. A $7 crack hoe. When I was playing rugby, I woke up one day and there was this woman that looked like a worse Janis Joplin, if that's a thing. And she was on my couch, and one of my friends was like, had his hand up her skirt, and then a guy was on the porch, and he yelled out, "It's almost my turn." And I go, "What the fuck?" And she goes, "If you want some, get in line." I go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And they're like, "We got a hooker." And I'm like, "She looks like worse Janis Joplin."
It's a scrum.
I got a worse Janis Joplin. She goes, "I'm not a worse Janis Joplin." I go, "Whatever."
Stop
get the
calling
fuck
me
off
Barbara Streisand.
All I said was, "Get the fuck off my couch." She goes, "Fine." And they went out on the porch and finished out there.
Public's going to cost you extra. But yeah, so, and then you were saying, like, why do guys go down that path? It's not their parents' fault.
You shared the hooker with your podcast friends or us?
The poker would probably be more enjoyable.
Wait, can you go halvesies on a hooker?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's going to cost you more for a teammate.
Yeah, so it's not halvesies.
It's going to be a reduced rate than 2 hours.
What?
So, like, let's say...
Wouldn't it take more time because there's more folk?
No.
I'm so confused.
I don't know.
How are people... I'm guessing people that get hookers aren't smart. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I don't understand any of this.
Are you good at comedy?
I like to think so.
Do you love comedy?
Yeah.
Did you understand the intricacies of it? Because you loved it. These guys might not be smart, but they found their passion. That's
yeah, but what you
hookers.
just said makes no sense because if they love the intricacies... I can't say that word.
Intricacies.
I can't do it. Intricacies. What?
It's the intricacies of the word intricacy that makes it hard for you.
Yeah, you're right. I don't love that word. If I love the intricacies of a woman, I want to date a woman.
Yeah,
I love relationships.
Till enough women break you and you realize, I don't really
No,
like
if those, just like, okay, Bobby, same thing. If you do comedy and a joke doesn't work, if that joke broke you, you don't give up on jokes. You just learn from those lessons and move on and love and be happy for the experience you had before. No matter what, my whole life, anyone I dated, if it ended poorly, I'm happy for the experience and it turned me to the person I am now. It made me a better relationship person for now.
That's an approach.
That's the best approach. Life's a series of learning, and every experience, good or bad, it builds you into the person you are at that moment, and you continue becoming a better person, and that way you're never sad.
If you have a toaster, right, and you go to make toast, and it shocks you, so
the toaster shocks me. Am I in the tub? What the fuck toaster?
It's kind of short, so when you push the button, it get a little jolt. You get off. You throw the toaster out. You go buy a different brand toaster. Completely different function. This one runs on fucking solar power, right? Then you
solar power toaster?
Yeah. So then you hit the switch, and guess what happens? It shocks you. So you go, fuck that toaster. You throw it out, and you go, I want a non-electric toaster. And they go, good news, buddy. We got a propane toaster for you. Completely different. Nothing like you've ever seen. The safest thing on the market. And so you go to put your bread in that, and you know what happens? The fucking tank explodes. At what point do you go, it's not me, it's these fucking toasters?
That's the worst analogy of all times, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, because toasters have a function.
Wow.
Woo! That has been my performance on the POS show.
Sometimes Bobby will turn to me and be like, I don't know what happened. I thought I was going to go on a date, but then this lady changed her mind. I think she watches everything you say.
Oh, boy.
But you're obviously joking around. Okay, let's get to the crux of this so we can move on and just end the show.
That's what they say at 14 minutes.
Right. So, how long we've been talking about hookers for an hour?
Time sure flies when you're having fun.
This whole episode, by the way, this started by me saying, "Are bots ugly now?" I just want to say that's where this began.
I don't know how we got on hookers, but I'm not mad.
Because it started leading into who does this, how they're getting their money, and then it became like a thing like that. And then you brought up Ben Ortiz, and then I got into hookers. That's how that all went. But okay. We tried to go. You said you would bring a hooker to a wedding.
Yeah.
I think that if I would never get a hooker, I think if I had to pay someone to be with me as a fill-in. See, I'm looking at. I can more realistic. I hate to say this. I think I can more realistically say that if I had to pay for anything, wait, I was on a podcast called The Ghetto Basement.
Well, thank you for joining us, Scott.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah, I think it was over a year ago. Yeah, dude, what's up?
Ironically,
I think I can pay for an
is typically where you find good hookers.
That was a podcast that had a bunch of people on it. It was like they had like 8 people on the show.
It seems like a fun time, just based on the Ghetto Basement.
I could pay. I think if I had to Sophie's choice it, pay for a sex or pay for a fake girlfriend just to show someone, but not have sex with them, just have them fill in as a person with me. I think that part makes more sense almost.
Oh, well, if I'm allowed to do just that, I've got.
Well, isn't that what a
plans.
girlfriend experience is? Like, you don't always have sex with your girlfriend.
If you typically you would though. If you're just paying someone to pretend to be your girlfriend.
So wait, when you have girlfriends, you have sex every day.
No, but when you have a hooker and she's providing you a girlfriend experience, you're paying for the.
But you're
time
paying
that
for
you're
a
gonna have
girlfriend
sex.
experience. So sometimes that girlfriend's like, you didn't take out the trash, or like,
She's not
why
gonna do that.
Why do we
Although
never
there
go to
are
your
some-
place? We're always at my place.
There are some guys who like not being allowed to come. That's their thing. So there are some women who do provide that service.
Now this is making more sense. This guy, yeah, because I knew it as TGB. I didn't know the name. Yeah, Bobby Fran, Bobby Nick, all the guys. Yeah, they're all great. Now I know what we're talking about. What's up, dude? Hookers.
But given the now I could just pay someone like that to pretend to be my
Well,
girlfriend.
you told me you're paying for a girlfriend experience.
Well, for that I would take puppy girl Jenna to my high school reunion.
Do you know what she would cost you? Isn't she famous in the dog world? For those who don't know, there's I guess a porn star. I don't know what she is,
Not
but
a
Bobby,
porn star, no.
Bobby's into this girl who pretends to be a puppy and then people fuck her.
No, just the idea of bringing a walking into your high school reunion, Pat.
No,
How
but
many
that
years-
girl, puppy girl Jenna, she's a porn star that gets fucked because she's a dog, right?
She's just a media personality that's a woman who likes to be a dog. There's nothing wrong with it. She's great.
I
Sometimes
think the
she
one
likes to-
picture you shared, she was nude.
Sometimes.
That's porn.
Do you see? Do dogs always wear clothes, Pat?
She's a person. She's got titties.
No, she's puppy girl Jenna. Human girl Jenna always wears clothes, except for when
Human
she's on
girl
OnlyFans.
Jenna. They should just. That's just Jenna.
That's Jenna, yeah.
Wait, is that two Jennas we know that are porn stars?
Yeah.
Is that is that a common fake name?
I'm just Jenna from the block.
That's Jenny.
I'm just Jenna trying to suck some cock.
That's an awful name.
But
Just
no,
trying.
how many years have you been out of high school?
Almost 30.
So for your 30th high school reunion, you roll in and they're like, "Yo, is
By the way,
that
did I
Oates?"
tell you I'm performing at it?
Okay, so now this is going to be perfect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, the one, the only, Pat Oates and his date, puppy girl Jenna. And then out in front of you on the leash is a
Oh my
naked
god,
Jenna.
dude! Holy shit!
That would be the greatest fucking...
That you treat women terribly would be your greatest thing ever.
That guy is the...
Nobody would understand.
No! Oates made it!
He made it. He treats a woman like a dog. Bobby, is that what you like?
No! I think it would just be so uncomfortable for everybody. It'd be the funniest thing in the world.
I guess it wouldn't be uncomfortable for the dog woman.
You could go up to, like, the dude who's clearly unhappy, the high school sweethearts who are still married but clearly unhappy, and be like, "You want to play fetch with Jenna?"
How much do you think it could cost you to get puppy girl Jenna to be your dog at a prom?
$15K.
You know the price. All right.
If
So
he doesn't,
you were going to explain a couple more. We'll get to that. You started to say like Greek and stuff. How about this? How about before we go? How about you throw me a couple of the things that they charge, like the menu, and I try to guess what they are.
Unfortunately, that was about all the info she had on Arrows. It's a little classier of a website that she didn't have all the.
Then I have a couple quick lightning questions.
Please.
Then. Okay. Is it cost more? And you might not have the answers. I'm just asking. Does it cost more or less, or is it not an option? Condom, no condom.
That's the Greek thing.
Wait, what? I thought Greek was just you said sex.
Oh yeah, that's with no. Greek is nutting inside, without a condom.
Greek is cream pie.
Yeah, bareback, if you will.
How about
Like,
is it a
yogurt.
Greek blowjob then? Do they blow you with a condom on?
I would wear a condom.
No, I'm saying I would think they'd want you to. I would think that the worker wouldn't want anything, would never want raw anything.
Yeah, it would cost you more. No condom's definitely going to cost you more.
But what about
It's-
one of those street whores that you were
that's
saying,
really-
like a hot dog vendor?
That's really the Russian roulette of hooker games.
Hooker games. I don't like hooker games.
You know why Magic's still alive? Because he's fucking Magic. You're not going to be. Wear a condom.
Well, I'm not getting hookers.
Me
I wouldn't
neither.
even know. Oh my god, dude! Do you know the anxiety I would have if I ever ordered a hooker and then I was just waiting for a hooker? I wouldn't. I would run away from my own house.
Yeah.
How are you waiting for a hooker?
Dude, I couldn't.
Have you ever been close?
No.
Oh, this is a good question from Scott here.
I think you're gonna have to find a special girl for that.
Do you have sex with them first?
No.
Whoa! You know who does that? Puppy girl Jenna.
No, she doesn't.
She poops on your chest.
No, she doesn't.
She's a dog.
Don't put that in the universe.
Hey, it's there. Put in the universe. 3 people are watching it. One is Scott and one's your tweet.
So I'm guessing that would be more of like the.
Who's the
$7?
one person just staring at this and not talking?
It's me.
No, that's one of them. There's 3.
I don't know.
How much do you think it costs for a poop on the chest?
At least $1,000.
For you to poop on them?
Yeah,
What about for them to poop on you?
probably more.
Wait for. I think that'd be less.
You have to be able to poop on demand. That means you're gonna have to be traveling around for a couple hours having to poo.
Imagine paying for a human toilet.
I can't imagine paying for time with a woman.
You know a lot about it. I'm sure you imagined it.
No, I really can't. Like, here's the thing. And we've joked about this on here before, but really, unfortunately, I'm the type of guy who, if I'm not, like, connected with you, my dick's not going to get hard. It's going to be a tragedy. And they're not going to give you a refund.
Imagine having receipts. Wait, is that a tax write-off if it's like a therapeutic thing?
No. Do you know how bad it would probably be to have to realize that you have the type of erectile dysfunction even a pro couldn't fix?
This guy Scott should be interviewing people.
I see again. These are
But you know what, Scott? I would think Scott. Unfortunately, because these are prostitutes and business people, you'd have to pay for the corn.
This is like escorts 101. I'm just giving you the basic introduction. I didn't.
You know a lot about it for a guy who says he couldn't do it.
I didn't even really major in escorting. I'm just good at teaching. I'm actually researching other things through this, but I'm here to present the information I have to you in a nice, catered way.
You're like the guy from The Who got caught with all that kid porn, but he's like, oh, it's research.
Yeah, exactly.
Just doing research.
But let's be honest. The tier of porn star we've gotten on here that I've become accustomed to becoming friends with also tend to escort.
Wait, what?
In their free time.
Why did I think that's not a thing?
Because you're naive.
I am. When it comes to sex like this, I'm very
not talking
naive.
about the good ones. I'm talking about a certain tier. You know the ones we're talking about. That's what they do.
You can pay him for sex?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's like the people who don't quite make it to the NBA. They're playing in other men's leagues.
I don't want to pay those people for sex. Who's paying them? You could just watch them fuck for free.
Ben Ortiz.
Leave him alone. But he's got mental issues. It's not all mental issue people.
There are a lot.
Wait, are they spending their state? Is the state paying for it?
A lot of times.
Because Ben Ortiz gets state money. His state money is going to hook. Whoa.
Yeah. Your taxes are going to hookers.
I'm pretty psyched about that.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that. If it stops him from shooting up a school or something, yeah. Whoa, I've learned so much.
But there are a lot of mentally ill people, which leads to both the clients and the service industry.
What, you saying that the hookers are mentally ill?
No. I'm saying like the whole industry itself, I think, is built on the crippling loneliness.
I
people feel as
understand
human
why
beings.
women are escorts because it's like a job that you can make a lot of money at, and
Yeah.
why not? If you like sex and you have good pimps, I guess you gotta have a good pimp or a dog. I knew a girl in college. She had a Saint Bernard that would like attack if she said certain words. And the Saint Bernard would stand by the door. She used to come to our rugby parties, and we let her in for free because men would go to the party and pay extra money to try to get her to be their hooker.
Yeah, that's
So we were kind of pimps, but like not really. We just let her not pay $3 to drink beer.
not a bad pimping. Also, the entire rugby team is gonna beat the shit out of a dude if he treats you.
Oh, if he was ever me. That one
Yeah.
time she was on the couch of our rugby house, and these two guys were on either side of her, and they had a blanket over the three of them. And then one guy whispers, we could all hear because they were drunk. He goes, "I'm getting a hand job right now." And he goes, "No, wait, I am." And then someone goes, "Dude, she's skiing." And she was just watching TV, jerking them both off. And then they both got mad because they thought that was gay. And then they stopped.
We had a skier in college as well. We called her the Hornado, but she wasn't a pro.
Hornado.
She was
She's
just in it for
Spanish?
the love of the game. No, but she came in
Hornado.
like a whirlwind. Because again, you remember I lived with a bunch of autists.
A lot of what?
Autists.
Audis?
Yeah.
Is that what you say,
afflicted with
autistic?
autism. Yeah. a
Oh,
lot of
I didn't know if
autists.
you were saying artist with an accent. I didn't know what was going on.
No. But so like a woman willing to do sexual things with them, they all fell in love instantaneously. Then there were like fights and shit. And not
All right, before we get to our final POS question, I want to thank our new sponsor, Arrows.
yeah,
And I want to thank what's her name? High-end Brittany. What was her name? Brittany from New York?
Brittany from New York, she was classy.
All right. Who's the piece of shit in this entire episode? Is it me for asking all these questions? Is it you for humoring me and answering all these questions? Is it Scott for asking as many questions as we've asked? And by the way, as I say that, Scott nails it by going, "This has been a good show. It's going to be my watch rotation."
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. It won't usually always be 10 o'clock at night, but we appreciate you, my friend. Or is it Scott? Is it Brittany? Is it Ben Ortiz? Who's the piece of shit in this story? Bobby?
I think it's me.
Why?
Because
You were just trying to help your friend. I had questions, and it was a fun episode.
I'm also not an expert in the field, and I feel
But
like
I wasn't looking for expert. Would have grossed me out. I think it was better that as a friend you were trying to help me out. But I felt better talking to you, knowing you haven't done it. I think I would have been ruder if you were Ben Ortiz or a person that gets hookers. As much as I was trying to be respectful, I wouldn't be because it grosses me out. And I'm not trying to say anything wrong against anyone that you live your life, but it's just not for me. I would rather. I don't know. I don't know why I'm this way, but it's weird because my whole family and my whole life is divorce and things, but breakups. But I believe in relationship. I will always, my whole life, be a hopeless romantic, and I don't think you can pay for that. But that's me. I'm a weirdo.
And I'm almost the opposite of that, in that I don't believe that women are capable of love. But
Oh my God.
I'm actively trying to pursue someone to disprove my hypothesis.
Well, that's not going to work if they watch this.
No.
Nobody wants to be a hypothesis.
But, all right, so here's the thing. It's not Ben Ortiz, because everybody, like, loneliness is true. They say it's the oldest profession, right?
Loneliness?
No, escorting. Right? And it's literally just, people are lonely, man.
Does he mean hemorrhoid? Because I don't know what a hydroid is. Is that new Tesla?
I don't know. Water-powered car. But here's the thing. Like, dude, even...
I don't know why, dude. Water-powered car just made me giggle. Like, I like things, the things kids would push and the bubbles that would pop up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Exactly. But, like, loneliness, man, it's really tough. And if you don't know how to treat it, or, you know what I mean? Like, how to fix the situation...
Dude, Scott is the MVP of this fucking.
He's the only one watching.
You know what? And I appreciate the shit out of him, man.
I kind of like No Filter Scott more than No Filter Paul right now. But you know what I mean? Like, that's so you can't blame Ben. You can't blame Brittany, right? You gotta money. Money makes the world goes around, right, Pat? People need Porsches, hoes need abortions, and I just need you up out my business.
Is that a rhyme? Is that a real? Is that bars?
Yeah, that's a hard song.
Who's singing that song?
You're not ready for that.
I'm not.
That's North North by Vince Staples.
Oh, I've heard of Vince Staples, but I don't know his work.
Yeah.
That's the whitest thing I've ever said. All right. I think I'm the piece of shit. Because I don't know. I feel like by me doing this, I'm insulting people that are lonely, and I've become comfortable by being single, but I love relationships. I don't think I should fucking mock or make fun of people that just don't have that hope of relationships, and they're like, this makes my life easier doing it that way. There are some people that don't have emotions, like autisms and all those folk and hydroids and everybody else, but they want to do that. And there's women who make money off this, like I said, so I really shouldn't be like making fun of it. I just don't understand. It's a whole world I don't get. You know, I just don't. It's the same thing with Dungeons and Dragons, but the difference is I wouldn't mind learning about Dungeons and Dragons, because I would actually one day play that. I think if someone was like, "Hey, you want to learn this?" I would, but I would never get a hooker. So I'm asking questions for no fucking reason, because I would never do this just to be, I guess, silly. I don't know, but like, so I feel like I'm being a piece of shit by wasting everyone's time, and I appreciate you talking about it. But it was a fun episode to do. But I don't know. I feel bad if some guys like. There's 4 people watching, but people watch this later when it's not live, and they watch it afterwards, and someone's like, I do that because it's the only time, like you were saying, there's some people that can't do that, like this guy's just shitting on my whole life. All I can afford is 15 minutes of the girlfriend experience, so we're just watching a quick YouTube video, and then she jerks me off. That's what I do. We watch a 7-minute, we watch a couple of shorts, jerk me off, and I leave with 3 minutes to spare.
I don't think there's anybody that would realize that we understand, man. Like, I love being in love, but I also really love not crying on the phone.
I don't know, but the crying on the phone, that memory's as good as the love on the phone. Like it teaches you how to. I don't know. It kind of works.
She's a peach scone. She's a peach scone, Bob.
It's
Peach
scones.
Scone? Do you know Peach Scone by Hobo?
No, you were whispering something about scones. I don't.
Yeah, she's a peach. Peach Scone.
Peach scone?
Yeah, you don't know that song?
No.
Oh man, you don't know love until you know that song.
Wait, I know love. I don't know that song. Mary J. Blige is more about love than that thing.
Mary K. Blige is emotional.
Mary K. Blige is some lady who sells you Tupperware at your fucking house.
Mary J. Blige is an emotional retard.
You don't know the godmother of fucking R&B? Fuck you.
Compared to Hobo Johnson?
Hobo Johnson is the worst name I've ever heard in my life. Is that a hooker's name? No, I would not pay for Hobo Johnson.
Who just loves being sad.
Hobo Johnson?
Yeah.
That's the least thought name ever.
Look up Peach Scone, the small desk version, after this episode, and you tell me if you're not crying. I'll play it right now.
No.
We're on YouTube.
Because we're going to get shut down.
I forgot.
Hobo Johnson.
Peach Scone.
That sounds like if a guy had a dick that smelled, women would call him Hobo Johnson.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely.
Yo, that motherfucker got the Hobo Johnson. Yo, I know he fine as fuck. You ever smell his balls? He got the Hobo Johnson. It's better than Homo Johnson, I guess. Is there a singer with that name?
No. I think Hobo Johnson kind of capitalized on the Johnson in music.
Hobo Johnson is the worst name I've ever heard. Old Dirty Bastard's a more thought out name than Hobo Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now Boxcar Willie has hits, too? Boxcar Willie sounds like a guy putting his dick in a woman's box in his car, like you said we could pay for. So that you give him the old Boxcar Willie. Right? You can pay for the car experience.
Yeah. Oh, good call.
See? Pay for the old Boxcar Willie with your Hobo Johnson.
So basically the song, Pat, Peach Scone,
Okay.
He tells the girl he's really in love with. He takes her out for scones. And he tries to say, I love you, but he panics and goes, I love these scones, especially the peach one. Then he meets her boyfriend later, and he goes, oh, yeah, she's great. She talks about you all the time. She's a peach. Scone.
That's a song?
Yeah, dude, it's a great
It
song.
sounds like a shitty Netflix show.
You should listen to his music. It'll make you sad.
Why would I want to be sad? You should listen to Xanakin Skywalk. That makes me happy. Because he yells out weird things about women at the beginning and end of it, like famous people at the beginning of his rap. Then he just yells.
You've sold me so far on him.
Yeah, he'll at the end of a song he'll go, Ariana Grande ain't got no titties, and that's at the end. He just yells at the end of a song.
Okay, I'm on board already. And I'll leave you with this. You know the DJ tag where they like say the name of the artist or the DJ?
Jason Derulo.
Murder on the beat.
Oh, I thought you meant like when they say their name, like
Jason Derulo's one, yeah, or like whatever the artist tag is, like murder on the
Khaled.
beat, so it's not nice. You know.
I don't know that, but okay.
In rap songs, you hear like random tags, but the name thing's a good example. Jason Derulo.
Young Gravy does one. He's like, whoa. He does that thing in every song.
Boop, boop, boop would be like West Side Guns. So I recently found an artist, and it may be the douchiest artist tag of all time that she has.
What is it?
And her name is Critter.
Critter?
Yeah. I believe it's spelled with a 1.
Critter. That's their name?
Be careful, Pat.
Yeah, what's up, Chris?
Bonasano in the house.
Dude. How are you,
buddy?
sir? I haven't heard from this guy since I used to be on Compound a bunch. Which, by the way, real quick as a plug, I will be on filling in for Kumia November 2nd, next Thursday. So check me out on there. But anyway, go ahead. Bobby, what's the tagline from Critter? By the way, Critter can't be attractive.
Critters, they bite.
Oh, that's a good question. Critters do bite. Bobby, is daytime cheaper than nighttime?
I don't know. I just wish we could move on from this subject.
We will the next episode. But now we're down to one person. Everybody just left.
Well, check out Gabagool Comedy, October 8th.
All right, that's what you're doing? Gabagoo?
Saturday.
Where's Gabagoo Comedy?
It's in New Jersey. It's me and Nicky Petito. Check the Instagram. It's there.
Nicky
Friday,
Petito sounds like a real Gabagoo.
He is. He is headlining the show. You could see his plethora, or a real, since we're heading into the Thanksgiving season, a real cornucopia of characters he does.
Thank you, Chris. You're a
Thanks,
wonderful
Chris.
man.
You're the man, buddy.
So Gabagoo, where is that? Where it's a place called? The place is called Gabagoo.
No, that's the name of the show.
Where is the location?
Great question, Pat. Give me a second.
Thought people should know about the Gabagoo Comedy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's one of those shows that, like, the name people just kind of know. But if I really had to answer it, it would be Saturday.
Anyway,
October
while you're doing
28th.
that, smash.
Patterson.
Right? What's that thing? Smash the button, subscribe and shit. Because I'm less than 20 away from being able to fucking monetize this shit, and then we could steal money from people. I don't know, like hookers. I would guess daytime, nighttime doesn't matter. If I had to guess, I would think of hookers. Her time is valuable, and she's making money no matter what. Maybe she has like a lunch special, like a Tuesday deal. Buy one, get one.
What you really got to understand is with the internet these days, time zones, there is no daytime, nighttime hooker. Like,
Well, you can't order somebody from Oklahoma to come to your house. It's too far of a drive.
Oh, Pat, you're forgetting Jerkmates and OnlyFans and
What's
the online
Jerkmates?
whoring. It's a cam site where you go and you can pay money for them to do things on cam.
That's going to be a whole nother episode. Holy shit, there's a... What? Cams?
On that note,
Alright.
make sure you come to 900 Patterson Plank Road, East Rutherford, New Jersey, Saturday, October 28th.
So
Get
wait,
on
you
a
want
show.
them to come to you? You want them to make an out call to your show on Plank Road?
Make an out call to Plank Road. I will not be paying you cash for your time, but you'll enjoy paying me cash to see me do comedy.
Bobby's getting paid for his time.
That would be nice.
You are. That's comedy.
That is comedy. I believe I'm getting paid, and based on the poster, what can only be described as gabagool.
This Friday, I'm at the Riverwalk in Derby, Connecticut. It's almost sold out. Only a couple tickets left. So if you're in the greater New Haven area, grab a ticket quick. The next week, Twisted Vine also in Derby. I'm doing a lot of shows close to my house. That's gonna be an awesome show. My buddy Matt Lopes, Dan Altano. It's gonna be a great time. There's still tickets available to that one, but you can just find that out. Hit me up or just go to Eventbrite, put Twisted Vine Derby. You find that there. A bunch of other dates coming up soon. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you if you do that. And and on the YouTube channel, also check out a bunch of shorts I put out, a lot of new material and stuff of that nature. So besides that, Bobby.
One quick call to action
Yeah.
from something that happened to me today. I was walking around New York and I saw a homeless guy going down 34th around 7th and 8th. And as all the cars were lined up, he was mimicking shooting them all like with a shotgun and then a rocket launcher. And I don't know, it feels like I should tell somebody about that, but I don't know who. So if you do, let us know in the comments below. And until then, until next time, Pat, if you can't join them, beat them, and don't be a piece of shit.
Or Boxcar Willie.
MVP of this episode, Scott, close second, Chris Baldessano.